So Chicago, I wasn't there. I was doing my MBA at the time. So we met on Saturdays, my class. So I was not at Metro 3730. What was this, a club, or what was this facility?
Yeah, Metro. It resembled the Henry Fonda Theater, but it was smaller. It was smaller. It was like a 600 standing up room size. So it was easier to sell out in this one.
Did we sell out?
But well, we didn't officially sell out, but we did have a lot of like it. So it held 600, and we had to wait for people to leave to sell more people in, because it was like a nightclub, and like there was always a residual flow. So we had over 1,000 people according to the venue rotate in and out. But yeah, this one we worked with a group out there called V5. They were a promotions group that we had been introduced to.
Were they any good?
Well, I'm sure they had a local following in the market, and I don't know them outside of this event. Like, I know we brought our audience, and they seem to claim that they also had brought a large audience as well, which I can't honestly tell you if it's true or not, but it just felt like our people at this event, because again, as Anthony mentioned, we had the right organizations involved. So, the partner or participating like co-sponsors were Sigma and the Gamma, Sigma and the Beta, which are the two biggest Midwest groups. We also had Gamma Alpha Omega, Lambda Theta Alpha, Lambda Upsilon Lambda, and then Gamma Phi Omega. So we had the right groups involved. I don't recall if there was a strong pre-sale, but the day of the show, I was totally impressed at the turnout that we made, or we had. And just as a quick recap, the ODFIs from UW Parkside won this event. LULs from Rochester came in second. That was the NEST, I forget, New England Step Team, I think it was called. And then Sigma and the Beta. Do you remember them, or?
Yeah, I remember. I remember that was with Max Laura. I think Max Laura was one of the guys in charge.
Yeah, you're right.
He was either, I don't know if he was in the show, but he was involved with that team. No, I think he was in that, right? Was he in the show? Do you remember him there?
I remember the name. He must have been on the team, because we didn't really deal with a lot of like managers, team managers. So
right.
But they came in second, and then Sigma and the Beta from UIC came in third place there. With on the sorority side, it was Gamma Alpha Omega who won first place. That was the Stacy Malacara's. She wasn't on that team. She was kind of like the coach. So she had already done like 2 years of Latino Step, and she was already kind of like retired at that point.
Good for her, man. She was good people's man.
I think she also had a baby along the way, so she just couldn't be a part of the team at that point.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
I remember, at this show, I remember after the show, we were just talking, and I was trying to like understand why she wasn't involved this year, and just a lot of circumstances and stuff like that. So, but yeah, she had become a mom too, which was like, she was like 22 years old, 23 years old. So I was like, wow, that's really early, but
I don't remember that. Wow.
Yeah. And Sigma and the Gamma came in second, the Indiana team, followed by Sigma and the Gamma from NIU, who came in third. So here they had good placement, and I don't think the boycott happened because,
I want to say that the boycott was before. I think it was the year prior that it was like a threatened boycott.
Yeah,
I don't remember why. Wasn't it like a Frank Valencia thing? It wasn't like a me thing, because usually it was my fault.
I was not. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I wasn't intimately involved with like the teams in Chicago until this year, so I don't know what the actual thing that occurred.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
It would have probably made for a good story, but
it would have made a good story. I'm sure someone remembers what was the issue.
Yeah,
it was something small. It was something like we forgot to include them on a flyer, or we forgot to put their name on something. I feel like it
My
was like
goodness.
something like that. Yeah. But anyway,
But yeah, so we had a good show, small recap, where we thanked the co-sponsoring orgs who came out to watch a great show. There were, yeah, this event was good, was our best one in Chicago as yet. And I think Diana Romagera was my kind of collaborator while you were in business
was she
school.
interning or is she working?
I think she was
Okay.
officially on the team at this point in 05. And so, yeah, because we had the magazine. And so we had started bringing on like the other staff for the magazine that we ended up working with. So, and Diana was already in the office at that point. So we've got to invite her to a future program.
Yes,
but
please reach out to her. She's your good connect.
Yeah. So excellent. Shout out to Diana, who she was a beast.
D. Romagera.
I always call her Beast because we would be going to FedEx at like 3 a.m. to like ship all the equipment back, and she'd be as awake and alert as anyone. So, but yeah, anyway, but getting back to the Chicago show, this was I'm noticing here on the flyer, we did a buy one, get one free promotion. So basically if you bought one ticket, you get a second.
That's not a good sign for us. I mean,
yeah,
but
it helped us crack. But it helped us crack the market finally, right? So we were wise enough to try different things to kind of make it pop, so go for it.
All right, so here we go. We are back. We're talking about our Stony Brook show in April 16, 2005. We named it TRES REGLAS. Now, this was something that was percolating over years since we first started doing shows, because one of the Achilles heel of a lot of people is these rules that, we have to come up with rules so that teams can have a fair playing field, so that they're measured and judged on the same thing. And sometimes teams would, showboat and like bring in fire and tiki torches and do acrobatics, but had nothing to do with actually stepping or maybe strolling, depending on the show. So after years and years, Jesus and I had an idea. I go, we should just do a no holds barred show with no rules except for just 3. And the beauty of it was that there was no first, second, or third place. It was just, right? This was just like an exhibition almost. Is that right, Jesus?
Yeah. We that was intentional.
Right. So the only 3 rules there were is that you couldn't curse, you couldn't have any sexual references, like guys, like, pumping the floor in their underwear, stuff like that. And the third rule was no direct disrespecting of any organization. So that meant that you could, roundabout ways you could diss people. You can diss people generally speaking, but not like, hey, LUL, like FU or LSU, like blah, blah, blah. So those were the only rules. This was an interesting show. It was the first time we did it. So I'm going to read what we had here on our website. So although there were no official first, second, and third place awards, there was so much that went on behind the scenes at Stony Brook on April 16th that we had to share the inside scoop. Phi Alpha was at this show, performed at the show. Phi Alpha ripped the stage apart with their tight strolls and appealed to the ladies, as each team member referred to the Latin American country that they each loved best. Of course, when Dominican Republic was mentioned, half of the women in attendance screamed in appreciation. LUL, as Jose Laguna, stepper, put it best, see you in the summer, a bold statement referencing LUL's anticipated dominance in upcoming Silk 4 and Summer Step 7. The ladies loved Jose's remix of Take It Slow. Which song is, do you remember that song?
I think it's an Usher song, if I'm not mistaken.
Usher song, okay. And then Ariel, which was a brother on the team, Ariel's salsa moves and the team's chant, where they call out all the ladies in the crowd. Sigma and the Beta, huge crowd favorite that in 8 minutes destroyed it. The crowd loved their crisp steps, and their team captain summed it up best after the show. He approached the LS executives and proclaimed, "Hold my tres reglas registration deposit and apply it to the summer step show because we're going to come through." So SLB was making a statement for the.
It was Albert. Albert was his name. I remember now. Albert.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember New York SLB guys. Lambda Pi Chi, after a 5-hour drive in ridiculous traffic and multiple car accidents, Pi Chi's held down another solid performance by a 2-woman team that received by far the night's loudest applause as Nicole Dominici, the team captain, did a split in mid-step while teammate Eliza stepped hard alongside her. Do you remember this 2-man Lambda Pi Chi team? Performance?
Yeah, I do. It was yeah. Let's keep reading through. But yeah, like obviously Nicole and Eliza, they were 2 of the stepping like leads on the team, and they really represented. When I saw 2 women, I was just like, this might not go so well, but like again, they were stepping so hard that it actually ended up being really, really good.
Lambda Alpha, a team that started with 3 sisters due to unfortunate circumstances on the day of, ended up showing with 5 to 6 strollers. They graced the stage and definitely made their presence felt at the after party. Omega Phi Beta, 6 members from their Stony Brook chapter, put on what some call the performance of the night, posing on stage as an intro before Amory's One Thing dropped as the men in the crowd were mesmerized with the women in front of them and the rhythm. There's no bias, right, in that write-up, right, Jesus? Sigma Iota Alpha, a team of 3 that put on a hot, crowd-pleasing performance. They dropped down for some push-ups in mid-routine. Brenda Medina, was that her last name? Do you remember? Brenda Medina, the team definitely represented. Sigma and the Gamma, these girls trooped it from Penn State University to take part in the show and represented their org, making an unruly crowd quiet down to pay attention to their wonderful performance. You can see that these young women have a lot more show in store for the future. Sigma Lambda Upsilon, with 2 different teams performing at Stony, these women gave the crowd a little glimpse of what they're preparing for the summer. This show being the final summer warm-up, these women showed that they're going to definitely build on their excellent second place performance from last year. So yeah, this show was well attended. It was great. It was like less pressure on everyone because it wasn't like a competition or a step or a show that was due. So I remember in this show, the DJ was, I think Diana Romagera got some Hot 97 DJ that was like a nobody at the time. And then later on, he ended up being kind of popular. I don't know what his name is now. But yeah, he didn't do anything too special that I remember.
It was Spin One, DJ Spin One, I think.
Something like that. It wasn't the name, but it was something. It was somebody that was a nobody. So in this show, we had Alpha Phi Alpha from Stony Brook, LUL, Sigma Lambda Beta, Lambda Pi Chi, Lambda Theta Alpha, Omega Phi Beta, Sigma Iota Alpha, Sigma Lambda Gamma from Penn State and SLU. This was sponsored by Latin American Student Organization, LASO, at Stony Brook, LUL, Omega Phi Beta, SIAs, and SLG. It says all dancers, performers, actors, comedians, singers, shufflers, unity lovers, tap dancers, prop peddlers, pledge lines, oh yeah, strollers, steppers, saluters, and haters too. This show is for you. This will be the only chance to get it all out of your system before the 8th annual Summer National Championship. Anything you want to add about Stony Brook?
Yeah, this show was a lot of fun, man. I remember this one very clearly because we were in the office, and anytime we had a creative addition, so like what you just read and what we posted on our website, we constantly kept adding to it. I think we started with no disrespecting, and then we said no direct. We added that word along the way just to be funny, and people were reading every word of our.
I feel like this Tres Reglas show could have been a spinoff. Like we could have done just Tres Reglas 1, 2, 3. Because it's basically this is basically another way of positioning an exhibition. That's what this really is. It's an exhibition with 3 rules. So I mean, maybe if we ever do a comeback. Did you show the flyer? Did you share screen the flyer?
Yeah, I did in the beginning. Okay. I can do it again. 1 second.
No, that's fine. If you did it, that's fine.
But yes, the
only problem with Stony Brook is that it's too far deep in Long Island. I forget how many hours away, but.
Well, we had to, what we were learning also is that we had to create spacing between our events. Like we couldn't hit the Northeast with a stroll show every couple of months because it was asking too much.
Yeah.
And we were, again, responding to the teams, and fortunately they came out and, supported this show because there really was no incentive to do this event. There was no prize money. As you mentioned, it's Stony Brook. So there's, people who are established there, like they're bound to show up. But
well, right. The good thing about a show like this is that if you do it at like a school, like a Stony Brook's a good Greek school, and everyone on campus would want to be a part of it just because we weren't going to many New York City campuses to do anything, so.
Yeah.
And
I think what was impressive to me about this one was we had of the teams you read out, there was one that was from Penn State that drove all the way up. And this is about a 4-hour drive, if I remember correctly.
Sigma and Gamma, yeah. Penn State.
And I was just like, what are they doing? Like, why are they coming so far? But we appreciated it,
They got love, of course. I mean, come on, man. Number one show in the game. You got to come out to that. You got to drive 5 hours for it.
Yeah. But I think we did do a Tres Reglas 2, to your point, and it didn't do as well as this first one, if I remember correctly.
Where, at Stony Brook?
It might have been right back there. Yeah. I'm pretty certain we did.
We would have seen evidence of that somewhere on our website.
I'm gonna look for it as we continue talking, but absolutely.
So it'd be April 06 then.
Yeah, it would have been the year after.
Okay, so this was a good show. Yeah, this was a good show. We experimented. That's the other thing about having a business and doing stuff. You got to try different things. Some things are going to work, some things are not going to work. This may or may not have worked. I don't know, but it was at least funny, and we got a kick out of it. But naming this show Tres Reglas, and it's funny. Yeah, I get a kick out of this.